African News Update on Top Accolade News. Tonight's 8 stories are shaping Africa and beyond, from bold election reforms in Somalia to a solar power surge across the continent, from Nollywood's soul-searching into Morocco's triumph on the pitch. These aren't just headlines. They are makers of where nations stumble, fight and rise. Let's dive into the headlines. Somalia leaders seal election deal. Juba residents threaten to sue government over neglect of basic services. Africa's solar imports surge 60%. Egypt unveils financial drive to revive 12,000 stalled factories. We'll begin in Somalia, where a landmark deal could change the way power is won as Somalia leaders seal election deal. Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud and 4 key opposition leaders on August 25th signed a landmark agreement setting the framework for the 2026 elections under universal suffrage following Parliament's 2024 electoral reform. The deal allows Parliament to elect the President, while citizens directly choose members of Parliament, with parties winning at least 10% of seats gaining recognition. Though hailed by Mahmoud as opening the doors to state reconstruction, the pact exposes deep fractures as critics warn insecurity undermines reforms. This accord marks a bold step towards democracy, yet in Somalia's fragile landscape, progress can be as perilous as it is promising. While Somalia looks ahead with cautious hope for democratic reform, just across the border in South Sudan, citizens have taken a very different approach, turning to the courts to demand the basic services that government has long failed to deliver, as Juba residents threaten to sue government over neglect of basic services. Residents of South Sudan's capital have served legal notice to the Justice Minister, accusing key ministries and Juba City Council of failing to provide roads, clean water, electricity and healthcare in violation of constitutional rights. The petition, filed on the 26th of August, cites Article 37, 41 and 126 of the Transitional Constitution, demanding urgent corrective measures within 14 days or face a Supreme Court challenge. If pursued, the case could set a landmark precedent for civic accountability in South Sudan, a country where justice is rarely demanded in court but loudly shouted in the streets. And as South Sudan citizens fight for their rights to clean water and electricity, the rest of the continent is racing to secure its power future with a solar surge that could light up millions of homes if the momentum is managed wisely. Africa's solar imports surged 60%. Solar panel imports into Africa hit a record 15,032 megawatts in the 12 months to June 2025, up 60% from the previous year, according to Ember. Nigeria overtook Egypt as the continent's second largest importer, while Algeria, Zambia, Botswana and Sudan saw exponential growth. If fully installed, these imports could transform national grid, with Sierra Leone potentially covering 61% of its 2023 electricity needs. Yet installation data remains patchy, raising concerns about tracking progress. Africa's solar boom signals a seismic shift in its energy future, but without careful planning, the sunrise of opportunity could cast shadows of missed potential. While solar imports promise to power Africa's future, Egypt is turning the energy into industry. Egypt unveils financing drive to revive 12,000 stalled factories. Egypt's Deputy Prime Minister for Industrial Development, Kamel El-Wazir, announced a new initiative to restructure and restart distressed factories, part of a wider push to raise industry's GDP share from 14% to 20% and generate up to 8 million jobs in 2025. During a visit to Alexandria, he pledged support for investors, formalization of unplanned zones, and new industrial land allocations while inspecting key projects. Reviving factories is more than an economic plan. It is Egypt's attempt to turn rusted machinery into engines of national revival. You're watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. South Sudan is turning to an emergency cash injection to confront its deepening banking crisis as South Sudan injects 20 billion SSP to ease banking liquidity crunch. The Bank of South Sudan will auction 20 billion SSP to commercial banks across 3 tenors ranging from 28 to 336 days, aiming to ease a crippling liquidity crisis that has imposed withdrawal limits and stifled trade. While the move may temporarily restore confidence and cash flow, economists caution that without deeper fiscal reforms, the injection will risk fueling inflation. In South Sudan's fragile economy, printing relief without fixing the cracks is like pouring water into a leaking pot. While South Sudan struggles to patch cracks in its fragile economy, just north of its border, the Democratic Republic of Congo is battling to patch peace itself. M23 DRC talks restart in Qatar. Delegations from the Democratic Republic of Congo and the M23 armed group have restarted negotiations in Doha to salvage a faltering July truce, with discussions centered on prisoner exchanges and truce monitoring mechanisms. Despite multiple ceasefire deals, including one between Rwanda and DRC in Washington, fighting has intensified in North and South Kivu, displacing over 2 million people amid reports of mass killings and Rwandan backing of M23. As civilians endure relentless atrocities, Congo's peace process risks becoming a cycle of promises made abroad and bloodshed continued at home. On a cultural note, Nollywood is in the mirror as Bimbo Akintola criticizes Nollywood's new generation for prioritizing looks over craft. Veteran actress Bimbo Akintola has accused younger Nollywood stars of focusing more on body enhancement and appearances than genuine storytelling, contrasting them with icons like Shola Shugowale and Joket Silva, whom she praised for their relentless passion for acting. She lamented that today's actresses are more concerned about makeup and glamour than substance. In an industry built on reflection of life, Akintola's warning is clear. When beauty overshadows craft, the art itself begins to fade. And finally, football drama. Morocco edged Senegal on penalties to reach tournament final. Morocco booked their spot in the final after a tense 5-3 penalty shootout over Senegal, following a 1-1 draw in regulation and extra time. In the shootout, Morocco converted all 5 spot kicks, while Senegal faltered the first, sealing the Atlas Lions' passage. This victory proved once again that in football's cruel lottery, nerve often matters more than skill. From fragile democracy to fragile economies, from shifting energy futures to the soul of African cinema, tonight's stories reveal one truth: progress is never simple, never smooth, but in every struggle, there's a fight for dignity and a glimpse of hope. I am Ojorumi Okocha. Thank you for watching. Do stay informed, stay safe, and join us again for more news shaping Africa and the world. Do have a wonderful day and keep watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News.